Salutations, viewers. My name is GameDame, and welcome back to another one of GameDame Reacts, where we have the gameplay trailer for Path of Exile 2. Now, I haven't really played that much of Path of Exile, but I have dabbled in it a little bit, and I do really enjoy it. And I know that Path of Exile 2 doesn't come out until, 2025, early 2025, so we still have yet another year to play Path of Exile to see how much I actually enjoy playing it. But I did get through like I got a few hours of it, so I did enjoy it when I played it, but I think other games came out and I had to uninstall it to play those other games. So I'm probably going to reinstall it to see how much I like it again, because it is a lot like Diablo, but obviously there's still two very different games. But let's go ahead and watch the gameplay trailer for Path of Exile 2 to see where this game is at.
It seems the old ways still hold some power.
I love the movements in this game. I think they're so much more fluid than I would say in Diablo 4. Even though Diablo 4 was good to a certain extent, this actually looks so much cleaner and so much cooler. Now that I have 2K monitors, it's so easy to tell the difference between the quality that they put out for videos. Damn, that is so cool looking.
Path of Exile 2 is basically our next generation action RPG. And one of the things we really wanted to make sure that we were doing with it is to make the action combat really, really excellent. We just want to make sure that anyone playing the game, you can play it like an action game, feels fun to play. We've added things like dodge rolls and like hack canceling, things like this. And it just means that the game just feels a lot better than it previously did, as well as everything else.
It looks so much better than what I played.
One thing in particular that sets Path of Exile apart is obviously the depth, but in the itemization systems, crafting systems, but also the sheer number of quantity of monsters, encounters. Like, we have over a decade of content that is going to be available in Path of Exile 2 as well.
For Path of Exile 2, we really
I love how they straight up have the nipples just out and open in the office.
But we can now have the opportunity to rebuild them or restructure them in a way that is easier to understand and much more accessible for someone coming at it for the first time, and keep that depth there, either hidden away or much more natural.
That's good. I really love.
I think there's a big difference,
especially a game like this, thinking about the accessibility
in some ways
with it also, because that is just so important. I talk about that a lot.
The sort of technical complexity around doing things like the way you socket skills and things like that to make it easier to understand. But at the same time, we're making sure that we keep all the depth in terms of character options and things that you can do. So everything is still there as far as like, what can I do to build my character? It's just that it is easier to do so because you don't have to be worrying, for example, about when you're changing your items that you're going to break the way your skills are working and things like that. So I think
that is very nice, because that is one of the things I struggled with, was
the complexity that we want to try and avoid.
How complex it is, but I love that they're making it simpler.
We really wanted to be able to find a way to having
especially
some skills
for new
that took
players
longer to do than other skills. But the problem with that is that skills feel really terrible if you start them and then you can't get out of them. So we really needed a way to make that interruption be possible, and the dodge roll was a really great way to do it. We actually already had a philosophy for Path of Exile 2 boss design, where we wanted to make sure that everything was dodgeable. But previously we were just doing that by running around. But I think the dodge roll has actually changed a lot of things, and especially because, now that you can expect a player to be able to do that, it means that we can have the expectation and the balance as well.
We've done fresh design.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You
can make characters, you can make bosses harder too.
And brought them over, and kind of because they were fun to play. Like, why not replicate something that is still fun to play? But of course, it's full fresh coat of paint. There are definitely new systems. I'd say a lot of the monsters are faster, for example, which is where dodge roll helps to come into play.
Yep.
We have secondary
dodge roll is literally OP.
That allow the monsters to do skills while they were performing another skill. Much like how a player can dodge roll to interrupt a skill, a monster can now do the same thing. We have a lot more monsters doing.
Hell yeah, if you can do it, they can do it.
They'll interact with the world more, a lot more spawning from things, a lot more, like in one of our areas, the Isle of Kin, we have monsters riding on top of another monster, and then when they get close, they all jump off.
There's a lot of design changes that have had to gone on to take into account the way that the new skill system works. So with something like the
I can't
Mercenary
imagine
now,
putting
we're
each individual
developing how
creature like
crossbows should
this
work.
together.
We kind of really looked at that and thought, okay, how can we make crossbows just feel
Hilarious.
completely different than bows? You know, if you look at a shooter, it's like pistols and shotguns and things like that. Like, what about those makes them different from each other? And so therefore, it makes the whole experience just feel so different than what a bow feels like now. You know, you want that like pull the trigger and it instantly fires, you know, that kind of instant response type of thing. And I think that as we approach each different character class, we're thinking like, how can we make the skills here feel so different than every other class?
For a lot of the
That's really
unique skill
important,
sets, like the
especially with
crossbows, which are
the
almost
introduction
basically guns. There's a lot of
with
work that's been
guns.
done in other games to make those feel great that we had the opportunity
Might not be the
to bring into
introduction.
Path of
it probably
Exile.
was in
And
Path of
there's a lot
Exile. I
of
just didn't get
lessons
that
of
far.
What works well in a shooter that can work well in an RPG if you do the work, get the animations right, get the timing
I liked
right.
how you
We've done
said
a lot of
RPG
core
and
system
an
changes to make
ARPG.
it so that it feels like you've got as much control as you would in a shooter-focused game. There's a lot of what have
I was
other
wondering
games
why
done
I
well
didn't
that we
sound
can
as
bring
loud
into
as I
Path
thought.
of Exile that no ARPG is really built on because they don't have the crazy level of skill variety that we've ended up having.
So we've got a live stream later today where we're going to be showing off 2 of our character classes. We're really deep diving into the mechanics, and we're really excited to show that. So if you're interested in more about Path of Exile 2, then tune into that later today.
I love the direction that they're going with Path of Exile 2. I
The
think
old magics, not to be feared.
I think making it more accessible, making it easier for users to have a better user interface while not taking away from the deftness of the game is something that's absolutely crucial, because I know like hardcore players love the extremely technical aspect about it, but there seems to be a lot of quality of life updates that they've made from Path of Exile to Path of Exile 2. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think is the best addition that you've seen or change or whatever you have it as in your head from this gameplay trailer that PoE 2 has that PoE does not. Would love to hear from you guys, especially you veteran players out there. But that is all the time I have for you guys today. Thank you guys so much for watching. I highly appreciate your time as always. But please do not forget to subscribe and or follow not only to my YouTube, but to my Twitch. You guys know where my YouTube is at. You can find my Twitch at twitch.tv/thegamedame. Thanks guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.